today. Welcome back to today's live stream. Hello, everyone. Hello. You're welcome. Hope you're all doing great today. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. I welcome you all, my wonderful friends, giving God thanks for the gift of life. We thank God that we are living among the living today. Yes, every day we wake up, we have to give God thanks. For life itself is a gift. I never really know. I never really understand, or I was not really aware that life actually is a gift. Somehow, will I say I was not aware? It has not really registered in my thinking that life is a gift. I've not gotten that revelation, that life is a gift until something happened. Some time ago, we lost a brother in the church, and we lost a brother in the church, and we were at the funeral of this brother. We were at the funeral of this brother, and I was so sad. I was really sad because this brother was a devoted member of the church. So I was right there in the funeral. I was asking questions, in my heart. I was asking questions, asking God some questions, why this should happen. And God in his mercy, right there, gave me an answer that life is a gift. No matter the years we live on earth, it's a gift. So when he told me that life is a gift, the understanding of this word dawned on me. It was then I got the revelation that no matter how many years we stay here on earth, it's a gift. So every day we are alive, you wake up, you have to give God thanks because it's not easy to be among the living. Some people will cry. They used to say something that there is someone who doesn't have a shoe. He was crying that I don't have a shoe, I don't have a shoe. And when the person went out and saw someone without legs, that person started glorifying God, that God, thank you that I have leg, just that I don't have a shoe. You understand? No matter the situation, some people think that it's only Yosra. Thank you for joining. Hi, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining. So when this person saw a man without leg outside, he started thanking God. Oh God, thank you that I have a leg. I have legs, just that I don't have shoe. So you see, it's really Vasco. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Thank you so much. So it's very good. We always appreciate the life we have. We are not living because we are the best of human being. No, we are just living because life is a gift. God has decided in his mercy to gift us with life. So what am I saying? Whenever each day we wake up, let's give God thanks. Let's thank God for life. There are some people who wakes up in the morning, they won't see afternoon. There are some people who saw afternoon, they won't see night. So let's always give God thanks, no matter what. Some people will say they don't have money. And because I've seen some people, because they don't have money, they feel so sad. They feel like the world has rejected them just because of they don't have money. You understand? And they forgot that there are some people who has money and their money cannot give them life. So let's always give God thanks in every situation. Any day we wake up and we see a new day, let's give God thanks. So today I'm thanking God on behalf of every one of us that is living today, that's alive, and that is part of this video today. I thank God for our lives. I give God the glory for gifting us with life. So today we are continuing with pattern. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about, I want to round it up tomorrow. I will be talking about a man in the Bible called Abraham. The pattern that played in Abraham's life. It followed to his generation, to his lineage. Those who knows the Bible, you know that Abraham found it difficult to have a child. And when he gave birth to his son also passed through the same thing, also found it difficult to give birth to a child. So we'll talk about Abraham tomorrow, and we'll just discuss briefly how to end a negative family pattern. Please, if you are joining this live, kindly give me a like. Please give me a like and drop your thoughts, okay? We are all learning together. All right, so family pattern. What actually? The other day, was it yesterday? We are talking about a man that, or day before yesterday, we are talking about a man that ended the life of his wife because he started misbehaving. He started living a double life, a pastor precisely. So to tell you that this pattern of a thing, I don't know what was playing out in his family. Maybe, because I don't know his family, I say maybe because most things that happen to us is as a result of pattern that we refuse to deal with. There are mistakes we Christians, because I'm a Christian, there are some mistakes we Christians will make at times. We think because we have given our life to Christ, everything is well. We don't have to deal with some certain things like this pattern. Yes, everything is well, but there are some things we need to do. There are some assignments, there are some responsibilities that we need to do. Some responsibilities we need to take, some actions we need to take, some things we need to do. Because you cannot sit down, fold your hands, and manna will fall from heaven. The days of manna has passed. It was the days of the Bible that manna fell from heaven. It's not falling again this time. You understand? So if Abraham could pass through pattern, the family pattern happened to him, because everything that is written in the Bible is for our learning. And you and we come out from a family where some negative things are playing out. We have to be careful. So if we don't like those things, we have to be careful so that those things will not repeat itself in our lives. You understand? We have to do something about it so it will not reoccur in our lives. It can happen to somebody else, but let it not be yours. That is why knowledge is very important. Jose, hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, and as we know, when a healthy man and woman comes together in marriage or living together, because some people are not really married, but they are living together, okay? When they start raising children, then they have formed a family. So when a healthy man and a healthy woman comes together and starts raising children, they will form a healthy family. A healthy man, in other words, a healthy man and a healthy woman, when they come together, they will raise a healthy family. And a healthy family will raise a healthy community. Or we say a healthy society. And a healthy society will beget a healthy nation. In other words, a healthy family begat a healthy community, and a healthy community will begat a healthy nation. Because a family makes up a community, and a community makes up a nation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jose. Thank you. Now, show me an unhealthy family, and I will show you an unhealthy community. Show me an unhealthy community, and I'll show you a nation full of negativities. I will show you a nation full of unhealthy family, unhealthy negativities. As I said previously, some patterns are not healthy, and that is why we are here today talking about unhealthy patterns. And I said it before, it can be anything. I don't want to start mentioning this and that and that. And I said there are some people who find it difficult to marry on time just because it happened to their parents, or it happened to their mother or their father. There are some things that plays out in families that are not healthy. One can inherit different kind of negativity from the parents. As I said before, when you go to hospital and one is diagnosed of a particular sickness, diabetes, for example, or high blood pressure, they will ask you if anybody in your family, if any member of your family had been sick of such before that you know of. Do you know any member of your family that had been sick of such? The diabetes or the high blood pressure or whatever. You understand? Whatever sickness, they will ask you. The doctors will ask you. So to tell you that this family pattern of a thing is also recognized in the medical world or medical field. So it's very important we know what is playing out in our family. We tell ourselves the truth and know what is actually happening in our family and take our stand. If you know you don't like it, if you know you don't like what is actually playing out in your family. I told us before about a woman who died, and when she died, a lady and she didn't marry early. Is the painful aspect of it. She's this type that is really was believing God for a life partner, and she was a bit old. That is, let me just call it, she was a bit old because she was really matured. She was supposed to have children by then, before she got married. And when she got married, it was a thing of joy. We are all celebrating that she got married. Then it just happened. She got pregnant and she died with the pregnancy. And it was then that the husband family, when they were really crying like babies. You see men, healthy, matured men crying. It was then that they said that in their family, every first wife in their family dies. You understand? So things happens in families. It doesn't matter if you are white or you are black. We have to discover actually what is happening in our families and deal with unhealthy things, unhealthy patterns that we do not understand. Today we are going to read a particular Bible chapter, and it's Ecclesiastics. Today we'll read Bible here, but it's Ecclesiastics. For those of us who are not Christians, please listen to what the Bible is saying. Okay, just calm down and listen to the word of God. Even if you don't go to church, at least you believe God. Not so. So let's read. There is a Bible verse we are going to read today. We are going to read the book of Ecclesiastics. I will read chapter 3. I will read from verse 1 to 8. We will not be wasting much time today. I'll read from verse 1 to 8. Please kindly listen to this Bible verse. Please. It's the word of God. To everything there is a season. I'm reading Ecclesiastes chapter 3 from verse 1 to 8. And it says, in everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. I'm reading King James. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted. I repeat, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted. That is time to reap, to harvest what you have planted. A time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up. Paul, hi, thank you for joining. God bless you. Thank you so much. I'm reading Ecclesiastes, the Bible. I'm reading the Bible, the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and I'm reading from verse 1 to 8. Now I read verse 4. A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sue, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. That is the Bible. More or less. Paul, more or less. So where we read now is saying there is time for everything on this earth. This world we are living in, there is time for everything. There is time to plant and there is time to harvest. There is time to cry, to mourn. There is time to rejoice. There is time for everything in this life. And as I was telling us, family pattern. Many of us today, many people, or many of us today, we are sowing or planting evil seeds. We are planting evil seeds, but we don't know that there is time to harvest. There is time to reap that which we have planted, which we are planting right now. There is time to reap it. That is why we have to be careful. And many family patterns, negative ones that are happening, actually started from somebody. It actually started from somebody. And we shouldn't be the one who will leave or plant negativity for our family or for our children that we are going to raise. Because the Bible tells us now that there is time to plant and there is time to harvest. It's unfortunate that most of the times, the negativity or the negative things we have done today, our children or our lineage will be the ones to inherit it. They will be the ones to pass through the consequences of our actions. Because if we do good things today, it will come back to us tomorrow. One way or the other, we will reap it. Because whatever we plant is what we will reap. That is what we harvest. That is why it's very important. We are careful with what we do. That is why it's very, very important. Sometimes, before you take a decision, you think twice. That is why when you see something negative, you stand against it. Because tomorrow, you are going to reap whatever you do today. As I used to tell us on this channel, that this world, It's like a marketplace. And it's like a marketplace. When you go to market, you are not going to sleep there. It's either you go to sell or you go to buy. Whatever activity you go to perform in the market, you definitely go back to your home. You won't sleep there. So this earth is like a marketplace. We have come here to buy and sell. And someday, sometime, we are going to leave this earth. This earth belongs to no one. That is why we have to be careful what we do. Because when we leave this earth, for those of us that has children, we have siblings, whatever you do today might be waiting for your children, or might be waiting for your children's children, to inherit it, because definitely you will reap it, and that reaping might be your child, might be your grandchildren, might be your great grandchildren. Because whatever that is happening to us on this earth is actually from us, not from God. I see some people, some things will happen, they'll be asking God, why? Why did you allow this? Why did you allow that? But many, in short, all the time, whatever that happened to us on this earth is our making, is man-made. Let's take, for example, when there was COVID. It wasn't from God. Was it from God or from Satan? It was man-made. There are many things we suffer to that are man-made, that the devil even has no hand in it, that are man-made. When they are making laws, when countries are making laws, is it God that is making the law? No, not God. Is it the devil that is helping them make the law? Not the devil, but human being. You understand? So we have to be careful what we do on earth. Because whatever we are doing here, we are sowing seeds. Your actions are seed. Without, many of us don't know this. Anything you do today is a seed. When you help someone less privileged, it's a seed you are sowing. When you do wickedly to someone, it's a seed you are sowing. Whatever you do on earth is a seed. And a day will come that is the day of harvesting. A day will come that is the day of reaping. Because when you go to the farm and you sow, as from where we have read, there is time to sow and there is time to harvest. So when you go to the farm to sow, whatever you plant is what you will harvest. You go to the farm and you decide to plant, what is the name? Apple. You plant apple in your farm. And when it's time to harvest apple, because there is season for everything. There is season for apple, there is season for pear, there is season for orange, there is season for, what is the name? Banana. There is season for everything on this earth. All these crops, there is season for them. There is season for corn. There is season for, like, those of us that are from Africa, like Nigerians. I mean, I'm from Nigeria, Paul. Like those of us from Nigeria, there is time for yam. There is time to plant these things, and there is time to harvest them. So anything you do on this earth is a seed you are sowing. You cannot plant yam, for example, for the Africans, for the Nigerians. You cannot plant yam. And when it's the time to harvest yam, you go to your farm and you want to harvest because you are in need of cassava. You go to your farm and you'll be expecting cassava. In fact, even though if you're a magician, it will not work. Because it's yam you have planted, so you must harvest yam. Whether or not you need cassava is your problem. That yam you have planted is definitely what you will get. Or you planted corn. You planted corn in your farm during planting season. And when it's time for the harvest, and instead of you going with the expectation of harvesting corn, because you are in need of something else, maybe you are in need of vegetable, you go to your farm with the mind of harvesting vegetable, it will not work. It will not work. It doesn't work that way. Or someone planted apple and you don't want to harvest apple. Now you are not in need of apple. You needed pear. You must harvest what you have planted. This apple you have planted, so you will reap apple. So that is the same thing with us on this earth. Whatever we do in this life is a seed. When you sow good, good will come back during the time of harvest. When you sow bad, bad will come back during the time of harvest. That is what you will harvest. So that is why it's very good, very encouraging, very advisable to be careful or mindful of what we do. Someone was telling me that people need encouraging words this period, because the world is really passing through a lot. Actually, the world is really passing through a lot this time. People need words of encouragement. And this is also words of encouragement, because you have to be careful. Not because the world is passing through a lot, you will soil your hands in evil. Because you have to be careful what you do. No matter the difficulty, you have to be careful so that tomorrow you will not begin to reap what you have sown today. And before you know, like us, the Africans, we are too superstitious, as I told us here. We'll begin to blame the enemy. We begin to say it's so person that is after us. Is this uncle? Those of you who are not Africans here, you will not understand. We Africans, we are very, very superstitious. When something negative begins to happen, we'll begin to accuse somebody. We'll begin to say maybe it's one uncle, one wicked uncle that is responsible for whatever we are passing through. Or we say it's one auntie. In short, we'll point accusing fingers to the enemy, to the devil, without even looking into ourselves. Maybe we are the cause of what we are passing through. You understand? So we really need to be careful. I don't want to waste much of our time. We really need to be careful of what we do on earth. If we didn't get anything today, just get this, that here on whatever you do on earth today is a seed you are sowing. And definitely when the time of harvest comes, you will reap it. You might not be alive to reap it. It might be your children that will be alive to reap it. It might be your children's children. It might be in short, it will come anytime. Only God knows, but it will definitely come back to you. So be careful whatever you do today. Have that mentality that what you do today will come back to you tomorrow. If you really love yourself as a person, that's why self-love is very important. If you love yourself as a person, you'll be careful of what you do. If you love your family, your children, the generation God will use you to raise here on earth, you will be careful of what you do. So if we didn't learn anything today, let's just learn this. Let's be careful of whatever we do on earth, because whatever we do is a seed. And when the time of harvest comes, we will definitely reap that which we have sown. So I will end it here with us today. It's actually 30 minutes. Yes, it's 30 minutes. Please, I will come tomorrow and I will tell us how to break from family pattern, because whatever we do, as I said, whatever we do here today is a pattern we are laying. It's a pattern. And tomorrow, that pattern will begin to play out in the life of our children or our generation. They will begin to suffer the consequences of things they know nothing about. That pattern will begin to play there. So I'll see you tomorrow. Please drop like. If you haven't subscribed, please kindly subscribe. And I really appreciate, and I really appreciate you, Paul. I appreciate you, Jose. I appreciate you, Vasco. And you, Yusra. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for joining. And all of you didn't join the chat and you you are watching this live. Thank you so much. God bless you all. I really appreciate you all. I love you all. Take care of yourself. Have a nice and lovely weekend. I'll see you tomorrow by 7 p.m. Bye.